Welcome back to, yeah, whatever, blah-de-blah, there's a Werehog level. So, this is Empire City, nighttime. It's not a terrible level. It can be annoying at parts, but it's not, certainly not the worst of the Werehog levels. For the most part, the worst of the Werehog levels are behind us. There's one more really bad Werehog level, and then the final level, which is technically a Werehog level, is pretty much the worst. So there's still some bad Werehog stuff coming up, but it's not nearly as bad as what we've already gone through previously. This is no Cool Edge. It's a kind of platforming heavy level, so I'm not too upset that this level's here, I guess. But the good thing about this level is that right after this, I think there's 2 daytime stages, which is very unlike this game to give us that many daytime levels like in a row. In fact, I think there's one continent that we have to restore that's only daytime stuff, which is pretty nice. Some of the continents towards the end kind of start to get a little shorter. Like, oh, there's just the one level and then a boss, or just a boss. Actually, I don't think there is one that's just a boss. This is when the walking along these, like, planks starts to get a little bit more harrowing, because later on in this level, they're going to be not grabbable, which is kind of, you know, a dumb way to increase the difficulty of a section. And then they also introduce something else that makes it a little bit more difficult. But we'll get into that when we get into it. This is the stuff that I actually like as the Werehog. The platforming like this is fun. Also, I have now realized that I am playing this game at the same time as the Game Grumps, which I stopped watching them as soon as JonTron left, but they're at like 60 videos, which is unbelievable to me, because this Let's Play is going to finish at 23 videos, so I don't understand what they're doing. I mean, I know Egoraptor's bad at games, but I didn't know he was that bad. And the thing about that is that I'm sure he shits over the entire game, like, the whole time. And I don't even know if he's the one playing, but it's like, you gotta make me defend Sonic Unleashed, which is a game I really don't like. And you gotta make me defend it because Egoraptor's the one playing, and I think he knows absolutely nothing about video games. He's like shit at 3D video games. Like, completely. Like, I'm bad at a lot of games, but they're usually not the kind of games that I'll play on YouTube. You know, I'll probably never upload myself playing Bloodborne, because while I love that game, I'm not very good at it. I'm gonna have a little Egoraptor rant here, because I have not a whole lot else to talk about. If you like Egoraptor, great. You know, this is only my opinion, which, you know, everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, but he's one of those people that really started the whole, oh, Sonic was never good, thing, which is so annoying, because Sonic, has had way more good games than bad games. You know, this game is a mediocre game, but it's still not bad. So that Sonic was never good thing is really annoying. And then the fact that they involved him in Sonic Mania is so stupid. Like, give it to someone who actually cares about Sonic. I don't know. Stupid. It's dumb. Like, when him and John were playing Sonic 06, that was funny, because that game is bad. But they still, like, they milked the hell out of that. I think they did, like, over 100 videos, and they didn't even finish, like, 2 of the stories, which is absolutely bonkers. I'll bet you DSP didn't even take that long. There are times when I legitimately think that Egoraptor's worse than DSP. Just because he has a larger audience. Also, this part is actually way easier if you just go on the platforms below. And the platforms, I think, get you some extra stuff. And here's when they start introducing some new stuff with these platforms that you walk on. Because what's going to start happening is they're going to start falling. They're going to start shaking and they're going to start falling. So that's a new thing that they're going to get to try and trip you up and kill you. And it's especially annoying when, oh, that is exploration, that's progress. So I'm going to just go to progress because I really don't feel like wasting any time here. There will be certain sections where they're all the shaky folly planks. And what they'll do, which is really dumb, is they will, oh, I guess I have to go that way. What they will do is they will change the camera angle while you're turning. Like, they might do it right here. And what you need to do, yeah, right here, don't start walking forward because you're going to just walk right off. Because the game is dumb. So whenever you're about to turn a corner, do it very slowly. Because the camera will probably change. And one of the most difficult parts in this level, if you don't know what you're doing, is when they have the shaky folly planks and the camera angle. So you have to wait a second when you wait for the camera angle to change, but you also have to go quickly because you don't want to fall off the platform. So it's kind of tricky. And of course you can walk a little bit faster on these, but it's better to be safe than sorry, in my opinion. God, I hate that. It always makes me feel like I'm about to just fall right off. Does not feel good. There's not a whole lot of combat in this level, which I'm very thankful for. It's mostly platforming, which is why I think this one kind of gets a pass from me. It's not a good level. It's just better than others because I don't have to do as much fighting, which is the real, like, boring stuff in this in these Werehog stages. Here's the difference between someone like Egoraptor and someone else. Because the first time I ever saw this game was when PokeCaptain and the gang did a Let's Play of it, blind. They sat down in one sitting and played through the entire game just like they did with Sonic 06. And there was, like, a lot of deaths and a lot of failures in that run-through, but they, like, acknowledged what they were doing wrong and what the game was doing wrong. And, you know, that's the difference between, like, them and DSP, too. I'll watch someone play through the entirety of Sonic Unleashed and Sonic 06 and die a whole bunch. A, if they're entertaining, which PokeCaptain and the Posse are, and, you know, if they admit that sometimes it's not the game fucking up, but it's them. They learn with the game. So that's my thoughts on that. And I would absolutely recommend, if you've never heard of them or if you've never watched them, go look up PokeCaptain and watch Sonic 06 and Sonic Unleashed and their Sonic Colors and Generations. And then their Mario Party stuff, because those are, like, the best Let's Plays on the entire internet. I think PokeCaptain is probably, like, the best. And he was definitely the one that inspired me to do, like, Sonic games. I don't think they really do anything anymore, which is a shame. I would have liked to have seen them play through Lost World. That would have been an interesting experience. And then maybe Sonic Boom. So these will fall as well, so you gotta be quick about these. And I don't know how I screwed that up. That was, like, really dumb of me. It's not worth it. Whatever metal that is, it's not worth fighting 2 enemies for. So I'm, you know, screw this, I'm out of here. Oh, there's a switch, so I gotta fight him. I mean, I don't have to. I could still just try and pull the switch. But it's much easier to fight them and get it over with. You know what, I think that's something I never did the first time, like, when playing this game, like, the very, very first time. I don't think I used the shield at all, so I probably died a whole lot more. I legitimately think the first time through this game will always be the worst. If you were to replay levels, like, after you've beaten the game, I have a feeling that this is an entirely different game, especially in terms of the Werehog. Like, going back through the Werehog levels when you're, like, super duper powerful is a completely different experience, because you're going through the levels like you're Superman. Fighting like children is essentially the feeling that this game has. The definite best way to play through this game is to kind of brute force the entire game the first way through, so that you can beat it and then go ahead and play all the daytime levels, because it's way more fun to just go through all the daytime levels at your leisure rather than, you know, have to sit through all of the shitty Werehog levels and all the dumb boss battles and all the story. The best way for sure to play this game is to just play through the daytime stages. This is such bullshit. This is going to be like a real problem in this level, is that you keep fighting these big Gaia monsters on these skyscrapers, and there's no edges here, there's no boundaries, so you can fall off these buildings pretty easily. If they hit you and then do a shockwave attack, you're probably going to fly right off the building, which is complete garbage. Ooh, look at all that experience. Me likey. I don't really know why. Why do they have the experience as orbs that you have to collect? I think the experience should just get, like, passed on to Sonic once he defeats the enemies, because it's kind of annoying otherwise. Because sometimes you can take too long to collect the experience, and then you just straight up don't get it, which is dumb in my opinion. This looks like a great place to shoehorn in a fight. This is actually one of those areas that you can skip, because that door doesn't require anything to be opened, you just break through it. So you can very easily avoid these guys. But for the Let's Play, I'm trying to kill as many enemies as I can, just so that I can collect the experience, because I want to be as powerful as I can be for the end of this game. This is when these become a problem, like I was saying. This is when the camera angles change and you need to kind of take it slow, but you also need to take it fast. And here I die and I don't know what happens. He just kind of slipped off it. I'm not really too sure about what that was. That may or may not have been shenanigans. That may have been the game's fault, or that may have completely been my fault. It's really up in the air. So this area they want you to do stealthily by kind of sneaking up on these enemies and then pressing the circle button, which will enter you into the QuickTime events. But as I have said many, many times during this game, I am absolutely shitty at the QuickTime events, so it's easier for me to just go up and beat them up. Because there, I already screwed it up. Because I'm bad. I am bad at this video game. But I'm sure if this was a DSP playthrough...
What? I pressed the button! What was I supposed to do about that? A beginner's trap!
I think the Two Best Friends play did this game not too long ago, if I remember correctly. I didn't watch it, but I have a feeling even if they were bad at the game, they probably wouldn't be as harsh on it. Or maybe they were, I don't know. You know, as a Sonic fan, but not one of those, like, dumb, like, really out there Sonic fans, I do get a little offended when people badmouth, like, Sonic games that don't really deserve it, like Sonic Adventure. You know, Egoraptor was the one who started the whole Sonic Adventure was never good, Sonic Adventure is a bad game kind of mentality. And Sonic Adventure most certainly is not a bad game. And, you know, of course it didn't help that they were playing literally the worst version of that game. The PC version, which was like... It was like 3 generations of ports. It was the Dreamcast version that got ported to the GameCube, and then the GameCube version got ported to the PC, and then that PC version was what got ported to the Xbox Live and PlayStation Network stores. So it was like 3 generations of, you know, porting, and it's a really bad version. Like, the clipping is all wrong, and so yeah, that particular version of the game is bad. I've seen every single person who plays that version do this, like, the same things. They always die in the same places because they just clip through the level geometry. But, you know, that is not indicative of the game. That's just the shitty version that Sega wants you to buy. Dreamcast version is best version. No one will ever convince me otherwise. However, I will say, even though I grew up with the Dreamcast version of Sonic Adventure 1, I don't think I ever actually finished the Dreamcast version of Sonic Adventure 2. Like, I got halfway through, and then I got a GameCube, and then I got Battle. The most I remember playing Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast was there was a demo disc. I remember it was called Sonic Adventure 2, like, The Trial. And I remember that very specifically because as a kid I was like, they're taking him to court? Why is Sonic you know, with this trial? Someone suing him? And I had to have my mom, like, explain to me, no, a trial can also mean, like, a brief kind of look at something. You get a trial period. And that was, like, completely new to me. And also, I remember, the demo was in Japanese, so Sonic curses in the very first cutscene. And I remember thinking, wow, Sonic said damn! So I started saying damn, and I got in trouble. Because it was like 99 or 2000. I was only like 7, so... Is that right? Yeah, that's correct. I was only 7. So, you know, little 7-year-old me saying damn because Sonic the Hedgehog said it, which means it must be okay. And you know what? I guess that's why they take curses out of stuff like that. I kind of get it. But then again, like, curses are no big deal. Like, it's just a fucking word, you piece of shit. Like, if I ever have kids, which, I mean, who goddamn knows. That's bullshit. I hate that. That's the worst part. That's what I was talking about before. That is such nonsense. But I'm gonna curse around my kid all the time. I don't give a fuck. They're just words. We'll make the words any more or less bad than, you know, other words. What makes fuck any worse of a word than, like, fart? Nothing. Just people say, that's a bad word. Is it really, though? Yeah, man, that demo. I wonder if I still have that. I probably still have it somewhere. Just the disc. That was like the most exciting thing in the world for me. Was just having a demo disc for Sonic Adventure 2. I don't think there are a whole lot of differences between the Dreamcast version and Battle. I think the only difference is that Big the Cat is in the Dreamcast version, like hidden throughout the levels, but in Battle they took him out for some reason. Because I remember thinking that I was crazy when I was a kid, Because there's that first boss that Sonic has. What is it, Hotshot? Because once you beat him, I remember Big the Cat can be in the cockpit, and I thought it was absolutely crazy when the GameCube version came out, because he was never in the cockpit. And I was like, did I just see things? Was Big the Cat never here? And I'm about to get trolled real hard by this level, because I was looking for medals, and then right there's a moon medal right behind the goal ring. And of course it's there during the results screen. What a troll. So that was, you know, pretty short level. It was only 20 minutes. Wow, what a sad thing to say in a Sonic game. That was a short level, only 20 minutes. At least it's not another one of those 26-minute levels. So anyway, I will see you in the next video where we do some not Werehog things, which is actually fun.